chosen one. You felt it, didn't you? That silent pull calling you back to something you already escaped from. The familiar voice that sounds like comfort, but carries poison behind its softness. You looked at it once and felt the ache of memory, the laughter, the warmth, the illusion of belonging. But deep down, something inside you whispered, "Don't go back." You've outgrown what broke you. You've risen from the ashes of manipulation and deception. God said it clearly. Do not go back to them. It's a trap. They have not changed. Only their strategy has. They still study your silence, waiting for a crack in your peace. There's a reason you've been restless lately. The sudden memories, the strange dreams, the faces that appear in your mind when you're finally calm. It's all part of the test. The enemy doesn't always attack with fire. Sometimes it comes dressed as nostalgia. You're not meant to revisit what you begged God to free you from. You were delivered, but curiosity can become a doorway. And they know that. The ones who once drained your spirit are feeling your absence. They sense your glow increasing, your aura becoming untouchable. So they send whispers, messages, even chance encounters. But nothing is accidental in this season. Everything is being used to test your obedience. You're not here by accident. You've been guided to this moment. Write 99 in the comments. It's time to release your wish to the universe. Speak life into what's coming, not what's gone. The trap is the illusion that things could be different if you went back. Don't fall for it. If your spirit woke up while listening, don't scroll away. Like this video, subscribe now. You belong here, with those who refuse to return to their chains. This is not just a message. It's a divine alert, wrapped in love. The people you once cried for are now watching you from afar, wondering how you healed without them. And that's the truth they can't handle. Your peace exposes their chaos. Your silence burns louder than your words ever did. They will pretend they've changed, but pay attention to their patterns, not their promises. The same hands that wounded you will try to touch you again, softly, as if the past never existed. Don't let comfort disguise itself as closure. You don't need to revisit the scene of your pain to prove you've healed. You've already risen above it. God didn't free you just to see you crawl back into the same storm you begged to escape. He didn't bring you this far to watch you return to the fire. You're walking a higher road now, one where peace replaces drama, silence replaces chaos, and growth replaces guilt. The moment you go back, you forfeit the very miracle you prayed for. The test is simple. Will you trust what you feel or what you miss? Remember, not everything lost was meant to be found again. They can feel you slipping away, chosen one. That's why they're resurfacing now, smiling through the same lips that once cursed you, speaking with the same tone that once deceived you. They sense your energy shifting towards something they no longer control. You became untouchable when you learned to stay silent. You became dangerous when you started protecting your peace. Now, every time they reach out, it's not love, it's strategy. They're not seeking forgiveness, they're seeking access. And what God closed cannot be reopened by human hands. Don't confuse longing for love. What you're feeling isn't a sign to go back. It's a sign that your healing is almost complete. You're not here by coincidence. You were meant to hear this. You were guided to this exact moment because the universe is waiting for your signal. Write your warmest wishes and the number 99 in the comments. It's time to let the energy of release flow through you. You've carried too much pain for too long. Now, let your words become light. This is your divine confirmation. You've already broken the cycle. If your heart is beating faster right now, that's not fear, that's recognition. Your soul knows this message is for you, so don't scroll away. Like this video, subscribe now. You belong here among those who see beyond manipulation, who choose peace over false love, who refuse to bow to old patterns. This is not just a message. It's your turning point. Remember how they used to speak to you, the sweet tone that came right before betrayal, the fake concern that hid envy, the apology that wasn't about remorse, but about regaining control. These patterns don't change just because time has passed. Wolves can wear sheep's clothing for years, but eventually, their eyes give them away. Look into their eyes if you ever cross paths, not at their smile. The eyes never lie. They carry guilt, hunger, and confusion when they realize you've seen through them. They don't want you back because they love you. They want you back because your peace reminds them of their failure. And here's the truth God whispered to your spirit. You've already been replaced in their story, but that's exactly why you were chosen to start a new one. You were not meant to fix what was built on manipulation. You were meant to walk into the unknown with trust. The past may knock at your door, but not every knock deserves an answer. They'll call it closure. They'll call it talking things out, but it's all bait for a trap. The same cycle wrapped in softer words. Don't go back. Your destiny isn't waiting behind you. It's in front of you, in the silence you've built, in the strength you've earned, and in the peace that refuses to be disturbed. You are becoming the version of yourself that your past could not handle. The very people who underestimated you are now praying for another chance to stand beside you. But they can't follow where God is leading you next. They're not equipped for your elevation. What's ahead requires clean energy, honest hearts, and divine alignment, not emotional parasites pretending to be soulmates. This is your warning, but also your blessing. The trap is recognition. They're testing if you've really learned the lesson. Don't go back to prove anything. The proof is your silence, your glow, your distance. Chosen one, you were never meant to fit back into the version of life you've outgrown. That chapter expired the moment you stopped begging to be understood. What they call change is nothing but a recycled performance, the same act with new words. Don't be fooled by the calm tone, the sudden apology, the message that sounds humble but feels heavy. Darkness knows how to mimic light when it's desperate to get close again. You are no longer who you were when they broke you. Your spirit carries a new frequency now. And those who once thrived in your chaos can't breathe in your peace. Every time you try to go back, you'll feel the weight return. Not because of guilt, but because your soul remembers the chains. They want you to forget why you left. That's how traps work. They hide behind memory. They want you to doubt your intuition, to think maybe you overreacted, Maybe you were too sensitive, but your spirit saw what your eyes didn't. The betrayal was real, the manipulation was deliberate, and your pain wasn't exaggerated. Don't let them rewrite the story. They want to paint themselves as victims of misunderstanding, but they were architects of confusion. Every time you replay those moments in your head, remember how heavy your heart was, how you couldn't sleep, how you felt like you were slowly disappearing. That's not love. That's spiritual suffocation. You've been praying for new beginnings, for clarity, for signs, and this is one. God doesn't speak only through thunder or dreams. Sometimes He speaks through peace. The silence you've been experiencing is not emptiness, it's confirmation. The reason their voice no longer reaches you the same way is because your spirit has ascended beyond their frequency. You don't belong to that vibration anymore. It's like trying to breathe underwater. Your lungs know it's not your home. You survived the deep end. Now you're meant to walk on the shore. Don't trade your peace for temporary familiarity. Familiar doesn't mean safe. They're watching you now, trying to calculate the moment your heart weakens. They scroll through your energy, searching for cracks. They think if they show a bit of softness, you'll open the door again. But they don't realize your forgiveness doesn't mean access. You can forgive someone and still keep them out. Forgiveness is for your soul. Access is for those who've earned it. Don't confuse the two. They might come crying about loneliness, pretending they've been awakened, but discernment isn't cruelty. It's wisdom. God is protecting you by allowing their words to feel wrong even when they sound right. Listen to that discomfort. It's divine defense. You've come too far to repeat the same test in a different disguise. Every time you say no, you shift timelines. Every time you stay silent, you close a door the enemy wanted to reopen. You are being positioned for something far greater than they can comprehend. That's why resistance feels strong, because elevation always threatens imitation. Your strength intimidates what used to control you. Don't explain yourself anymore. Your absence already tells the story. Let them wonder. Let them miss you. Let them see that the trap failed. You don't owe explanations to those who only valued you when they could manipulate you. The real ones won't ask you to go back. They'll walk beside you where you're headed. Chosen one. When God pulls you away from something, it's not rejection. It's redirection. You were never abandoned. You were rescued. The separation that once broke your heart was a divine intervention dressed as loss. You cried thinking something precious was stolen, but heaven was simply clearing the stage for your destiny. That's why it hurt so deeply, because what you thought was stability was actually captivity. You were chained by love that wasn't real, loyalty that wasn't mutual, promises that were meant to distract you from your path. Now, when they try to come back, don't interpret it as a sign to return. It's only proof that you've healed enough to attract the same test again. The enemy always revisits what didn't destroy you. You were the light in that dark environment. You carried healing energy into spaces that only knew chaos. And when you left, the silence you took with you became their punishment. That's why they want you back. They don't miss you. They miss the peace that followed you. They miss the sense of purpose they felt standing next to you. But they never realized that the glow they admired was God shining through you. Now, that same light exposes them. It shows what they truly are when you're not around to make excuses for them. That's why they talk about you, why they can't stop thinking about you, because your absence revealed their emptiness. You've reached a sacred stage of transformation where your peace feels like power. You no longer crave explanations, apologies, or closure. You just breathe and keep walking. That's when heaven smiles, because you've learned that silence can be louder than any confrontation. Don't let nostalgia trick you. The past only looks beautiful when you edit out the pain. The same people who say, "I miss the old you," are really saying, "I miss the version I could control." But that version is gone forever. You've become someone their energy can't even comprehend. The moment you stepped out of that cycle, your spirit began rewriting its purpose. You didn't lose them. You outgrew them. And now they want to know how you're doing it, how you can smile without them, how you keep glowing when they expected you to break. They're watching your every move, trying to decode the secret behind your peace. But what they don't understand is that your glow isn't from revenge, it's from alignment. You stopped chasing people and started chasing purpose. You stopped searching for validation and started living in truth. That's what they call arrogance. That's what God calls growth. So when they reach out again, with guilt, tears, or promises, don't respond. Your silence is divine language. You're not ignoring them. You're obeying heaven. The trap isn't their presence. It's your curiosity. It's the thought that maybe this time will be different. But true transformation doesn't require second chances. It requires separation. Don't let them rent space in your mind when God already evicted them from your destiny. Every message you ignore is a victory. Every boundary you keep is a shield. You're not being cold. You're being called higher. You're being trained for a future that cannot coexist with your past. Stay focused. Stay grounded. Stay silent. Because the same hands reaching for you now once helped build your prison. And the moment you go back, you'll have to start your healing all over again. And you've come too far for that. Chosen one, you've seen too much to ever go back blindly. The mask has fallen, the illusion has shattered, and what once held you captive no longer has power. You've grown sharper, wiser, and far more dangerous to the forces that used to manipulate you. That's why they're trying again. Not because they love you, but because they've realized they can no longer control you. They want access to your peace, your confidence, your divine glow. They want to stand close enough to feel your light, but not close enough to change themselves. Don't let sympathy turn into a key that opens the same locked door. What once cost you your sanity should never be allowed back in just because it comes dressed in calmness. You are being tested in silence right now. Every message you don't answer, every thought you choose not to entertain, every memory you refuse to glorify, all of it is spiritual strength. You're not just resisting temptation. You're proving your loyalty to your destiny. You're showing heaven that you're ready for what's next. Sometimes, obedience doesn't look holy. It looks like ignoring a text, deleting a message, blocking a number, walking away without explanation. That's spiritual warfare disguised as self-respect. You've already done the crying, the explaining, the forgiving. Now it's time to do the protecting. You are not cold. You are covered. You are not bitter. You are being built. They'll say you've changed, and they'll be right, because you have. You've changed from being available to being anointed. You've changed from chasing approval to embracing purpose. You've changed from explaining yourself to simply walking away. They will call your peace arrogance because they cannot comprehend a calm that doesn't depend on them. But let them talk. The same mouths that cursed you are now the reason others are learning your name. Your name carries power now. Your story carries lessons now. Every wound you survived has turned into revelation, and the same energy they mocked is the one God will use to elevate you. But listen carefully. Before the new doors open, the past always tries to knock louder. That's what's happening right now. You're standing on the edge of transformation, and the echo of your old life is begging for one more chance. This is the final check before your breakthrough. If you go back, you'll delay what's already written for you. If you stand firm, the gates open faster than you can imagine. So when you feel lonely, remember, isolation is preparation. When you feel misunderstood, remember, your silence speaks divine language. You don't need to defend yourself to anyone still stuck in an old chapter. You've already graduated from that season. You're just waiting for your spirit to realize it fully. You're walking into a time where loyalty to God's voice will matter more than comfort, where discernment will protect you more than love ever could. This isn't punishment. It's promotion disguised as loneliness. The reason you're being told not to go back is because you've become the lesson, and they haven't. You carry divine energy now, and returning to the past would only drain it. Stay where the peace lives. Stay where your spirit expands. Because the ones who truly belong in your next chapter won't pull you backward. They'll help you climb. Chosen one. The air feels different now, doesn't it? It's heavier, quieter, more sacred. That's because you're standing in the in-between, the silent space between the closing of one chapter and the divine unveiling of another. Heaven is holding its breath, watching what you'll do next. The enemy wants to know if you've truly learned the lesson, or if nostalgia will still have power over you. But your heart already knows the truth. You're not that same soul who begged for understanding, who apologized for being mistreated, who kept giving chances to people who only came to take. You've been refined in the fire. You've been remade in silence. You are no longer seeking validation. You're seeking alignment. You are no longer chasing love. You are walking with purpose. Every time you feel tempted to go back, remember what it cost you to leave. Remember the nights you couldn't breathe because of their words. Remember how your light dimmed just to make them comfortable. Remember how you stopped hearing your own thoughts because their chaos was louder. You were drowning while pretending to swim. You smiled through manipulation, mistook control for love, and believed peace would return if you just tried harder. But peace never lived there. Peace was waiting for you beyond that storm. And now that you've found it, don't go back to prove anything. You don't need closure. You need continuation. You don't need to explain. You need to evolve. You've already been tested by pain, and now you're being tested by peace. That's the final exam of every chosen one. Not surviving the storm, but choosing not to go back once the sky clears. The same people who wounded you are watching to see if they can still reach you. But they can't. Not anymore. Because this time, you're not reacting from emotion. You're responding from wisdom. You've seen behind the curtain. You know that not every tear means love. Not every apology means change. And not every reconnection means redemption. Sometimes the devil shows up with flowers just to see if you'll invite him back in. God's warning isn't punishment. It's mercy. Do not go back to them doesn't mean he wants you alone. It means he's preparing those who can meet you at your new level. The ones who see you for who you've become, not who you used to be. You're walking into divine alignment now, where your peace isn't a luxury, it's the standard. Where love doesn't drain, it restores. Where connection doesn't confuse, it clarifies. And to get there, you must stay still while everything familiar tries to pull you back. Stillness is your sword. Silence is your armor. Discernment is your shield. This is your moment of recognition, chosen one. You are not being tested for destruction. You are being refined for destiny. Every temptation to go back is proof that you've reached a higher vibration. The old version of you would have answered that call, replied to that message, believed that apology, but not this time. This time, your spirit recognizes the trap before it's even set. You're not losing people. You're losing limitations. The pain you once cursed is now your teacher. The silence you feared is now your power, and the distance you maintain is now your protection. You're not rejecting anyone. You're protecting your anointing. Stand tall in this transformation. The ones who truly belong in your story will meet you where peace lives, not where chaos begs. Let the past crumble in peace. Let the memories fade without bitterness. Let the door close without noise. Because what's ahead, the people, the purpose, the blessings, require the healed, whole, and awakened version of you. God said, do not go back to them. It's a trap. And this time, you believe him. Chosen one. This is the part where the story changes forever. You've walked through fire, through heartbreak, through the kind of loneliness that makes your soul ache for something familiar. And now, at the edge of everything new, the universe gives you one last temptation, a door you once begged to open, but behind it lies everything you prayed to escape. The faces are the same, the words sound softer, the energy feels safer. But don't be deceived. The enemy has studied your longing. It knows what memories make your heart hesitate. It knows what words once melted your defenses. But this time, you see clearly. The tears that once blinded you now purify you. The ache that once weakened you now strengthens your resolve. You don't need to touch the fire again to know it still burns. God is not asking you to fight anymore. He's asking you to walk away completely. There is no battle left in what you've already conquered. The trap is not made of walls, but of emotions, guilt, nostalgia, sympathy, loneliness. The enemy doesn't need to chain you. It just needs to convince you to return willingly. But you're too wise for that now. You've learned to read energy before words, to feel intention before action. You know that peace never demands your pain. You know that real love never asks you to shrink. You know that what's divine won't make you doubt yourself. So when the past comes knocking with trembling hands and teary eyes, remember, the same hands once pushed you into the dark, and now your silence will be the loudest sermon they'll ever hear. This moment is sacred, because it's not about them anymore. It's about your evolution, about the version of you who finally understands that survival isn't enough. You were born to thrive. Every rejection became redirection. Every heartbreak became initiation. Every betrayal became a mirror showing you who you were never meant to be. You're no longer chasing what broke you. You're building what will bless you. That's why everything old is collapsing. That's why people are falling away. God is clearing the stage for your true alignment, for those who match your new frequency, not your old wounds. So stand still, chosen one. Don't answer their messages. Don't reopen what God closed. Don't explain your silence to those who never valued your voice. You owe no one access to your healing. Let the past stay buried. Let their absence echo louder than their apologies. You are walking toward a season that no longer includes manipulation disguised as love. You are walking into a time where you don't just survive the trap, you transcend it. Because you've learned that freedom is not found in returning, it's found in never turning back. When God said, "Do not go back to them," He wasn't warning you out of fear. He was protecting the masterpiece He's creating out of you. You are that masterpiece now, unbroken, unwavering, unstoppable. The chapter has closed. The lesson has been written. The test is complete. Walk forward with the calm of someone who finally understands their power. The door behind you no longer exists, only light ahead, and this time you're not looking back.